Thank you for subscribing to this channel. This is a reading part C practice video.
According to the question, what assumption was proved wrong by the results of the study? Now, if you read the section together, what Giussani found was that the high-altitude babies showed a pronounced reduction in birth weight compared with low-altitude babies, even in cases of high maternal nutritional status. Babies born to low-income mothers at sea level also showed a reduction in birth weight, but the effect of undernutrition was not as pronounced as the effect of high altitude on birth weight. Clearly, fetal oxygenation was a more important determinant of fetal growth within these communities. Remarkably, although one might assume that babies born to mothers of low socioeconomic status at high altitude would show the greatest reduction in birth weight, these babies were actually heavier than babies born to high-income mothers at high altitude. It turns out that the difference lies in ancestry. From this, you could have understood that what Giussani found was that the high-altitude babies showed a pronounced reduction in birth weight compared with low-altitude babies. However, although one might assume that babies born to mothers of low socioeconomic status at high altitude would show the greatest reduction in birth weight, these babies were actually heavier than babies born to high-income mothers at high altitude. Therefore, option A is the correct answer.
Let's look at the next question.
According to the question, what is suggested about the inhabitants of La Paz? Now, if you read the highlighted section, the lower socioeconomic groups of La Paz are almost entirely made up of Aymara Indians, an ancient ethnic group with a history in the Bolivian highlands spanning a couple of millennia. On the other hand, individuals of higher socioeconomic status represent a largely European and North American admixture, relative newcomers to high altitude. It seems therefore that an ancestry linked to prolonged high-altitude residence confers protection against reduced atmospheric oxygen. This implies that poorer residents have a genetic advantage over those with higher incomes. Therefore, option D is the correct answer.
Let's look at the next question.
According to the question, what is purpose of the information in the sixth paragraph? To get this answer correct, you need to understand the meaning of the phrase, "it seems therefore." The phrase, "it seems therefore," is an introductory phrase that implies that the statement that follows is a logical conclusion or inference drawn from previous information or evidence. The word, therefore, suggests that the statement to follow is a result or conclusion that can be drawn from what has been stated earlier. In other words, "it seems therefore" is used to introduce an idea or conclusion that is likely to be true based on the evidence or information available. Therefore, option C is the correct answer.
Let's look at the next question.
According to the question, what advantage of the research involving hen eggs is mentioned? Now, if you read the section, the advantage of using hen eggs in the research mentioned in the paragraph is that they provide a model system for studying the effects of high altitude on fetal growth and cardiovascular development. The researchers were able to replicate the findings observed in Andean pregnancies in hen eggs and demonstrate the link between growth restriction at high altitude and cardiovascular defects. The use of hen eggs allows for a more efficient and fast way to study these effects, as opposed to studying generations of migration in human populations. Therefore, this implies that the use of hen eggs have the advantage of its speed. The correct answer is D.